Will the Tampa Bay Rays lose this afternoon's game by a score of 4-1 to the Texas Rangers, ending their first homestand of the year with a losing record as they stand at 3-4 right now?
Back under 500. Some positives, some negatives. Let's talk about it right now.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano.
And we're the host of the Locked On Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making us your very first listen every day. Be sure to check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Locked On Rays. And check out our Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays, and email us anytime, lockedonrays@gmail.com. Well, as we mentioned, the Rays struggled to put much on the board offensively, more or less ruining an outstanding outing by Aaron Civale. Actually, I should rephrase that. Garret Cleavinger helped ruin an amazing outing by Aaron Civale. It's really got to be a gut punch and a buzzkill when you carry a game that long, that late, and then top of the ninth, the wheels come off.
Late implosion, man. It's a shame because I believe in what Garret Cleavinger can do, but it was not happening for him today. I mean, wheels came off.
Yeah, you can't. I know lefty on lefty, but even then, you can't throw a 95 sinker right down Broadway, right down the middle of the plate. I don't care if it is Barry Bonds or if it's, what's the guy's name? Josh Smith, who was 0 for 3 on the day. Usually a professional hitter, even a AA player, AAA player, usually tags that up.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Taylor Walls hit home runs, so anybody can,
Yes.
if given the right pitch and the right swing path. But look, that was it was such a good game until that ninth, man. Because let's start with what you said with Civale. Like, he was cooking, man. He was cooking, and he was making Adolis Garcia look like he had never heard of the game baseball before. I mean, it was just ridiculous what he was doing with Adolis, but it was really good stuff from him, which is, encouraging because he's your number 2 this year.
Right.
So obviously you want to see more of this. And it was a tight game, 0-0. I think the Seager home run happened in the 6th. So
yeah.
You're in it. You're in the game. You have your opportunities, but just focusing on what he did, that's a really tough lineup. We know that because we have faced them multiple times, and honestly, they have done whatever they want with Rays pitching in the last 8 games. I think we've won 1.
Right.
So that's a really tough team.
Quite frankly, it is a very tough team, and it's only going to get better and better and better because not only do you have the mainstays of Seager, Semien, Garcia, Heim, but now you have the young bloods that are starting to make an impact on the come up, from Wyatt Langford, who was playing at the University of Florida a year ago, I guess, and he's already made it to the major leagues and is doing amazing things. Josh Young, who's now hurt, of course, Evan Carter. I mean, there's a whole host of guys that are waiting in the wings or already stepping up to the plate. And this Rangers team, similar to the Rays, we hope the Rays get reinforcements and get stronger later on in the season. That's the expectation for Texas, because there's a guy named Jacob deGrom. There's a guy named Max Scherzer. There's a guy named Tyler Mahle. There's a guy named Michael Lorenzen. So this team is banking on, I think, like the Rays, a second half run and a deep run into October. So I don't think this team is going anywhere anytime soon.
This team is going to get better. Yeah. For both of them, obviously we hope that the Rays get better, but the Texas Rangers should get better. But they didn't have to get that much better when you have Nate Eovaldi on the mound. My goodness, this guy, Nitro, is just, he has been such a cool player arc that he has had. And maybe this is hot take-ish, but getting Jalen Beeks for Nathan Eovaldi might have been one of the worst deals from this front office. And I know the front office defenders are going to be like, well, Nathan Eovaldi then wasn't who he was, or like you didn't really have to trade Nathan Eovaldi then.
Yeah.
You really didn't have to. By the way, let's remember that was 2018. That was the college team, like I call it, in 2018. That was a fun 90-win team. You don't trade Nathan Eovaldi. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not saying yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying I don't know.
What I can tell you, though, is even a front office as shrewd as the Rays, you're going to have some swings and misses. You're going to have errors. You're going to have some mishaps. Not every trade is a Chris Archer in return getting Glasnow, Baz, and Meadows.
Right.
That's not the way the cookie crumbles.
It's just
I mean, we could go back in hindsight 2020, of course, but
yeah.
I guess the marker on Jalen Beeks is, he had the best strikeout rate in AAA at the time. But yeah, Nate Eovaldi has certainly shown that as the years have gone on, as he's become more experienced, recovering from, hasn't he had multiple Tommy Johns?
I think two, and I think the second one was when he was rehabbing with the Rays. Yeah.
And now he's done, he's been really, really consistent and a kryptonite for the Rays. I mean, I think 23 swings and misses in this game. And really, if you look back at it, I know that third time through the order, pitch count, all that. But the Rays, the position players in the lineup probably were breathing a sigh of relief when he departed after 7 innings and 103 pitches, because they probably would have rather seen anybody else instead of Eovaldi rolling out for his 104th pitch. I mean, give him another 15, 20 pitches. I don't know. He looked just as strong in the 7th inning as he did in the first.
He finishes that game. Give him 15 pitches, Kevin. I mean, my goodness, he looked amazing. And you're right. He's kind of like aged like wine, gotten better and better. And again, conspiracy theory. So grab them tinfoil hats on, people. I just don't think that when a guy is facing a former team, that there isn't a sense of, I'm gonna show you.
Oh yeah.
I think, and unfortunately with Nathan Eovaldi, we have seen this so many times with him being a Red Sox right after being with us, and now did it in the playoffs against the Rays last year, and now this year just does whatever he wants. I mean, it's really impressive what he has been able to do against the Rays.
Take a look, if you get a chance, at his BREF page. He is very experienced, as we mentioned. He's been in the league 13 years now, and he's still only 34, just turned 34.
Yeah.
So he maybe has a handful years left in the tank to make a lot more money, of course, but he's been a multi-time All-Star. He's won 2 World Series rings. Depending on where his career winds up, he could get a third, perhaps. He's played with 6 different teams, multiple leagues. Like, he has been all around the map. He's the type of guy in his swan song that the Rays bring back and say, hey, show the young guys how it's done.
Yeah.
Tell them your life story, your baseball arc, and let some of that career magic slide off on the rest of them as well. So I honestly can't be mad about it. Frankly,
no, I mean, look, they obviously it's mostly in jest with the whole like trade thing, but no,
not really. I mean, that was a bad. Yeah, look
back
at
trade,
it. Nope, not working out.
It was a bad trade. I don't think. How much could you have gotten though? Like, it was maybe, could you have gotten something else from the Red Sox? Maybe they just really like Jalen Beeks back then. They just really, really did. But yeah, bad trade. But it happens to every front office. But what he does against the Rays, every time he's facing the Rays, it's not going to be a good time. It really isn't. And now I think it's in the head of the hitters of like, damn, it's Eovaldi again. And when you said, the hitters were probably thankful that it wasn't him in the 8th or 9th, they would have taken anybody else. Yeah, that's probably what the Dodgers felt when Blake Snell was taken away in Game 6. Oh, sorry I went there, folks. Sorry I went there. I'm
that's
sorry.
kind of what I was thinking, but I left that to you to bring that to the fore here.
Sorry.
I mean, in fact, between Robertson and Leclerc, they gave up 4 hits across their 2 innings than Eovaldi did in his 7 innings. So
Crazy.
Just saying with that. I warned everybody about the splitter. Don't sleep on the splitter from Nate Eovaldi. He's got that cooking for sure. All right, we have much more to discuss, but first we have to tell you this. Passion, drive, and patience. It's the formula for winning championships, and it's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motor has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or your money is returned, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. And with all the parts you need at the prices you absolutely want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers.
And we also have to tell you about Game Time. You know Game Time. This is where you can get the best deals ever. Is it theater? Is it concerts? Is it comedy? Is it sports? They got it. Whatever you want, they got it. And you know the favorite thing about using Game Time, it's getting that picture of that panoramic view. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Wherever it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, I know what to expect because that's what Game Time does. And today, you can take the guesswork out of buying tickets using the app. For a limited time, all users can get $20 off any MLB purchase of $150 or more in the Game Time app with the code FIRSTPITCH. Terms apply. That's code FIRSTPITCH for $20 off from March 25th till April 14th only. So you've got about 11 more days to get this amazing deal. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
All right, so of course the Rays lose, and there weren't necessarily. What's that?
He said, "Of course the Rays lose." That's just funny.
Yeah, they did, unfortunately. But for a decent crowd, though, on a Wednesday afternoon game, 18,881, not too shabby.
Was there a school thing?
School thing, I'm sure there was some sort of promotion or deal to get the butts in the seats.
I like it.
Gotta have
I like it.
back on that
Wednesday at 1 p.m., 18K. Boom. Look at us. We're like the Dodgers now, baby. What's up?
I know. Hey,
Yeah.
Selling out every game. Call to
Yeah.
sell out. People will believe you. The Rays did try to make it interesting, though, in the 9th inning with runners on, and I really thought Caballero may have had it, but just showed warning track power. Man, that would have been so sweet. If they tie the game, they wind up winning that game.
Oh.
They get momentum on their side, and they close the deal there.
Yeah.
It was an interesting game overall for Caballero, because not only did you have that moment, but you also have him getting his 3rd steal of the year. Prop bet, not only do I think that he leads the Rays in hit by pitches this year, but I'm going to go on record and state that he'll lead the team in stolen bases this year as well. I think he had 26 or 28 in 100-plus games with Seattle last season.
I mean, I don't disagree with that one at all. I think he would. He's definitely going to do that 100%.
And it was a good piece of base running, because it is not easy to steal on a 96 fastball away with Jonah Heim behind the plate. No swing, plenty of room to get a throw off, and he still gets in there and is safe. So he's got that working for him. And then later on in the game, I don't know what to make of all this, but he did get eaten up a little bit on some really, really hard hit balls that I don't know if Taylor Walls handles it. I don't know if Wander handles it. I don't know how many shortstops handle the types of balls that were shown his way.
Yeah, and I mean, one was a quick transfer, so
that he dropped.
That still got called out. But yeah, he had a tough day there. I like his base running. I think it's this first 2 months we need that. Hopefully they can keep it up for the whole season. But right now, when you need to generate offense because some of your bats are not with you, this is how you create that. So I'm all for being aggressive on the base paths. Just don't be reckless. But he's doing that perfectly. And that, correct me if I'm wrong, but now every game the Rays have played this season, they have stolen a bag. Is that correct?
I believe that's correct, and I think that's what they're going to have to do the first couple months of the season. If not, that'll be the ethos of the entire season. Run when you get on.
If you don't use it, you lose it. People know this. People know this.
Well, it makes sense too with the bigger bags, of course, and the pitch clock. And I think that because last year was the first season of all that, correct?
Yeah.
So I think you have a year of data. You have a year of what went right and what went wrong, and you can go back to the well and see, okay, here's where we can really take more of an advantage. So I think that they have some metrics and some points that they can say with the bigger bags, maybe in certain instances, we should be more aggressive.
Yeah, no, and it's no coincidence that in the first 7 games, Caballero and Siri have just taken this as a mantle, as a motto to be. So no, I like it. The offense did try to wake up. Harold, I mean, we are a Harold pod. Okay.
Yes, Locked on Harold.
Locked on Harold. If you don't like Harold Ramirez, you're not really going to like what we have to say, because he is just a guy that will hit. It
seems like there's inevitably a game where nobody else on the team can buy a hit, and he might go 2 for 4.
And
they make it look easy.
And I know the whole thing with Harold has been, well, look at the exit velo, look at the BABIP. It's not gonna last. It's been his whole career.
Yeah,
this is who he is. This is just how he gets the hits. I understand that the data is like, well, most people are, when we see that trend, this is what happens. We understand outliers too. Like, there has to be an outlier in every point of data. Harold Ramirez could possibly be, at least he's shown to be, the outlier in this data. So I don't care if they're bloopers. A hit is a hit. Ask Curtis Mead, pinch hitting, getting that hit.
Ask anybody the first week plus of the season, because there have been so many balls in no man's land that have dropped between 3 defenders in shallow mid outfield.
It happened today.
I think it happened 3 times in this game.
Yeah, Harold, Curtis, and then who was it for the Rangers that
the ball was hit in front of Siri, I believe.
And then Caballero was there, and then Randy had to throw it in back in the infield. I forget who was hitting there for the Rangers, but yeah, it happened 3 times. It happened 3 times, and I think we've seen that a couple more times this homestand. But the boys try to wake up. I know that Yandy there in the 8th, that was unfortunate with swinging at the first pitch and then kind of popping a pop fly there between second and right field. But like Kevin Cash said after the game, I want that matchup any day of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take Yandy there most of the times. It just didn't work out that time.
Yeah, that just happens. I mean, I'd take Yandy with one working arm in the batter's box most times. And speaking of Harold Ramirez, it's like he's like Yandy Díaz without the exit velo and the walk rate. I mean, and, I guess to some extent the pedigree, but you can basically count on him to do special things game in and game out. And aside from that Yandy moment, overall, what we've seen so far from him this season, just the ability to work something with 2 strikes, to work an at bat, 11, 12 pitch at bats, having great plate coverage, staying back on breaking balls when he has to protect, and just knocking it out for a base hit, not trying to do too much.
0-2,
Textbook hitting.
0-2, 11 pitch walk. That's amazing. Like that, you don't see that every day. And then his hit, I think, in the first or second at bat, the pitch was almost crossing the lefty
Yeah, it was in
box.
the opposing batter's box. That is the type of hit that makes Vladdy Guerrero smile.
Yes,
Wink at you from afar.
exactly. He would be very proud. The typical Vladdy senior hit, but no, he is incredible. Harold is kind of that ilk, like you said, with the minuses there. But no, look, I can't say enough good things about Harold and Yandy really. But that was your shot. That was the opportunity to break open and get something through, but it just wasn't meant to be, man.
Right. You can't win them all. That's for sure. We have more to discuss, but first we have to tell you something extremely, extremely important, and that is this. Of course, spring training is over and baseball season is officially underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond in your prize pick entries, whether it's strikeouts, RBI, first inning runs. Take your pick of more or less and add them to your prize picks entry today. You can also get in on the NBA playoff action as well. There's some good matchups coming forth later on this month. Just check out PrizePicks. They got so much that you can do. It's easy to make your picks, and you can submit your entries in 60 seconds or less. Really simple stuff. So go ahead, download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match of up to $100. So good, I'll repeat it again. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB, for a first deposit match up to $100.
Can we have a conversation about Isaac Paredes manning third base?
Yeah, some of his defense needs to wear off on others. He's not just a bat that pulls dingers, I guess.
Dude, we saw it on opening day, a barehanded, beautiful coming in, and then a strong throw to first. We have seen this multiple times, but then on Wednesday's game, another play like that, it shows the work. He looks more confident. The throws look stronger. They look more accurate. The coming in, he just looks better. I don't know if the numbers yet show that. And, again, defensive metrics are not crap, but crap adjacent.
I'm sure the Rays have more proprietary methods that they would never let us see that say, Paredes is a vacuum cleaner over there right now.
It really is. I mean, he's really showing it. Maybe it's just batted balls that have been in his range, and so that's why he looks good. But I just want to have that talk. Like, we know Paredes with the power and the pulling, and we know that. But I think we need to start having a conversation where we include, hey, he's doing really good stuff there with the glove as well.
Yeah. And again, we're not here saying let's confuse him with Matt Chapman or Nolan Arenado, but certainly he can hold his own. I don't know if I'd go as far as stellar. What we've seen thus far is stellar. I want to see it over the course of 162. But like you mentioned, being able to handle multiple aspects of that position, be it coming in on a slow chopper or having to take a step back on a hard hit ball and making the adjustment. Accurate, crisp throws to first. Accurate throws to second. We've saw earlier this season, backhand plays up the line. Like, there's been so many really solid instances, and conspiracy theory on this. Has Paredes played any other position besides third so far this year?
No, he has not.
Okay, here's my conspiracy theory that the Rays went into the season, going back to the offseason, and said, Paredes, we like you. We like you so much that we are not going to play this game of moving you around to second or first. Third base, stick there, learn it, get good at it, get better at it, get comfortable at it, and do what you can do. You're not, we don't need you to be Taylor Walls. We don't need you to be Ahmed Rosario. Maybe one day that's the case for Curtis Mead of, you're our second baseman now. I think maybe that had really allowed Paredes to hone in and focus on the position in the offseason and leading into this season as well.
I love that conspiracy theory, and I would sign off on that, because when you have a guy that put up the power numbers that he did last year, not only the power numbers, but he was just solid all around in 2023. Like, I mean, he had a 137 WRC plus, 4.3 WAR. This is a guy that you don't just move around, man. Like, I'm sorry, like some guys just they should be there, and he's going to be there. Which now, with what happened on Wednesday with Brandon Lau, with the left side tightness. They didn't say oblique. They said left side tightness. What's the difference between left side and left oblique? Okay, fine. I didn't go to medical school, so maybe some of you have. If so, drop it down in the comments, the difference between left side tightness and oblique tightness. But regardless,
the point remains the same. Brandon Lau is hurt yet again.
Now, they said, look, precautionary. It was my decision, said Kevin Cash. He has an off day tomorrow. And then if we are facing a lefty on Friday, he can rest. And then maybe that a couple of days he'll be good by the weekend. Fine. Hopefully. But if he's not okay, and if there is an IL situation, I am ecstatic to see what Curtis Mead can do when you give the trust of somebody who's already performing, not somebody that has to perform, but somebody who's already performing, like Curtis Mead is. Bro, here you go. Here's your chance. Second's yours.
Yeah.
You're facing righties too, by the way. You're mashing lefties. You're facing righties too, because this is your spot. This is your position. That's the level of confidence that happens. It happened to Siri last year. Cash and company went to the DR and told him, hey, you're our center fielder. And then we saw what kind of season Siri had. Right. The best that he had ever had in that amount of playing time. Paredes, I'm buying into what you're saying. Maybe during the offseason they said, that's yours. Third base is you. You're not moving. Focus on this. If there was an IL stint, I wouldn't be too mad if Curtis Mead gets those at-bats. In fact, I would think that's the right thing to do.
No, I'm with you there. Twist on that, is this Brandon Lau's last season?
Bro, if he plays okay, let me say this. So if you guys don't know, he has two options remaining, one for 2025 and one for 2026, around 11 mil. The buyout is around 1.5 to 2 mil. So just everybody has that picture. If he plays,
Stu just texting me.
What do you say?
He just texted me. Think about the payroll. Remember the payroll. Always the payroll.
Stu, we know.
That's verbatim.
Stu, how dare he remind us of something that we as Rays fans know it's always there. Look at it. And now he's on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, just hit the subscribe
I just think
button.
it's interesting that he would text me at that moment in time as we're talking about Brandon Lau's contract.
Very odd indeed. Stu, I mean, when you're a billionaire, you can get on YouTube algorithm and mess around there. But look, 11 point something for next year. If he plays less than 100 games, he's getting bought out. He's not going to get that option picked up. He's just not. He needs, if he wants that option to be picked up. I'm not saying he has to be 2021 Brandon Lau. I'm not saying he has to be 2019 All-Star Brandon Lau. Just get to triple digits of games played, and the numbers should be there with Brandon. Yeah. They should be there for enough that the $11 million or so dollars is not going to be a bad thing for the Rays to do. But you play less than 100 games, I'm sorry, bud, you're getting bought out. That's the line.
Yeah,
get to triple digits, man.
I'm telling you, car analogy, Brandon Lau is like a Chrysler. It's like a Chevy, like a Ford. Always breaking down. Always some sort of issue. Fuel pump's not working. Air conditioning shot. Alternator needs to be repaired.
The glass, the sunglass compartment is not closing. It's just the latches.
The radio doesn't turn on. Was it you or somebody else that said Brandon Lau's not a fun player to watch?
It might have been me.
It might have been you.
It might have been me.
When he strikes out, it really, like, I just get such Debbie Downer vibes. He isn't whether it was you or somebody else, that statement holds so true. Besides when it's like a grand slam or a 3-run shot in a key moment.
Yeah, now
we're just saying on a day in, day out general basis.
The problem.
I don't get that I don't think he's like the life of the party. He's definitely different. He brings a much different component than a lot of the other personalities on this team. Not saying that's a bad thing, but it just God, when he like strikes out, it's just such like a down in the depths moment that it almost like just sucks the air out of the Trop.
The dude has no poker face. That's one of the issues.
Yeah.
It's like when he strikes out, like you're saying, you feel that from him. Like he's like so upset. And to a certain extent, you like that from the player, right. Like we've said before. But yeah,
you also don't want to show the pitcher or the opposition that
it's bothering you.
You got to him.
Exactly, because next at bat, he knows that you're gonna be thinking about it. So look, I think with Brandon Lau, his numbers are usually there at the end of the season, but day in and day out, I don't think he's that fun player. When he's hot, of course he's fun.
Yeah.
When he's on a streak, of course he's fun. He might be one of the funnest players I've ever seen when he's on a streak like that. My goodness, do you guys remember the 2020 season? The dude was MVP every day, basically. He was awesome. Yeah. But just the grind of the 162 and the fact that he is getting injured multiple times, basically every season now.
Right.
It's not the type of player that you get hyped up every day. Maybe some people do, and that's completely fine. Everybody has different tastes. Everybody has different opinions, and that is completely okay. Yeah. It's just, for me, day in, day out, he's not my favorite player to watch.
Yeah. Now, shooting from the hip here a little bit, let's remember 2021, 39 homer, 99 RBI season, second baseman, something not many, if any, second basemen accomplish. After that season, I'm not going to get into all the games played and everything. I just want to throw this out there.
Okay.
When you go to the Trop or you go to Fergs or anywhere around St. Pete, Rays Heaven, Rays Haven, wherever it is, how many Brandon Lau jerseys or jerseys do you see?
Not many.
You would think a guy with this contract, with the type of season and production that he's had previously, that you might see a smattering of Brandon Lau jerseys. And honestly, I cannot remember the last one I've seen.
Let's do a very unscientific experiment here.
Yeah, let's put a Survey Monkey together.
Next time we're at the Trop, let's count different jerseys that we see with different names.
That's a great idea.
Because
I know I know a lot of names that we're going to see. I've probably seen more names of like X-Rays versus Brandon Lau.
Would you see more Longoria shirts at the Trop this season than a Brandon Lau jersey on a given day? Is that a possibility?
No question.
I think so.
You might see as many Brandon Lau jerseys as Wander Franco jerseys, for all I know. I mean, it's like a ghost town with his stuff. Again,
great. I'm going to be looking into this, honestly, next time I see. And you know what? Everybody that's listening and watching, if you disagree, that's cool. Put it down in the comments. But also do the scientific experiments. Yeah. Very scientific, by the way. Incredibly scientific. The most scientific. People are talking about it, that it's so scientific. Do this. Next time you go to the Trop, check out the jersey names. How many Brandon Lau's? Which, by the way, Brandon Lau has been with the team more than anybody else in that clubhouse since 2018. So it should be by a landslide. It ain't.
But it's not. No. Second baseman of the future, Curtis Mead. Look out for it. Watch out for it. Because not trying to knock on Curtis Mead. I just don't know if he has the power potential to merit playing corner outfield or third base or first base. I think second base might be his future home. And based on some of the plays we've seen defensively from him, that's a good sign. Yeah. I definitely want to see him hit the ball a little bit harder so far this season.
Yeah.
It's early. He's had, 14, 15 at bats. We saw some hard hit balls last season. But
750 OPS, but like a 350 average. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, hit the ball harder. Right. More bases for Curtis Mead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All right. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. And we will talk to you on Friday.